OK, let's now get to the leader of the Conservatives in the London Assembly, and of course that is Susan Hall. Susan, welcome to the show, the woman of the moment. I think Sadiq Khan enjoys being questioned by you about as much as he enjoys going for a root canal. Do you think at the moment you've got him by the teeth, as it were? Do you think he's guilty of a cover-up?
I think it's all too serious to even think of that. I think it's absolutely diabolical. My job is to scrutinise him and asking questions of the mayor. The least you can get is a proper answer. And we never get a proper answer from him. And he could easily have said, we are concerned about this because there was a national issue at the time and it was being brought up and we're looking into this. The fact is that I've spoken to so many victims, or survivors, as they would prefer to be called. And this has been going on for a very long time. And he clearly knows it is. You've only got to look at the Express, at some of the history here. So to pretend he didn't know what I was talking about was absolutely disgraceful. It's far too important for that.
And Susan Hall, the number of this is that there are a number of reports, written 4 different reports by His Majesty's Inspectorate of Constabulary and the Fire and Rescue Services between 2016 and 2025 that detailed 6 minimum very harrowing cases, the details of which are too grim to go into, but let's just go into some of the headlines. Victim 1, a 15-year-old girl who told police she'd been raped by numerous men after going missing for 4 days. Victim 2, 2 men identified as suspects in the sexual exploitation of a 13-year-old girl. Victim 3, a 15-year-old was plied with substances and made to carry out sex acts on groups of men in a hotel room. More victims given booze, raped by groups of men. These are reports that Sadiq Khan had seen and had commented upon. I guess he would say in his defence that while he's aware of the individuals, he's saying he doesn't recognise these instances as being linked to specific grooming rape gangs. Is that correct?
Well, it sounds like it. I mean, I'm interested to see what he says. At the end of the day, we know this is happening. And since I've been asking questions, and it's been on social media, so for at least 7 or 8 months, I've had girls get in contact with me to tell me what's happened to them. And it's all pretty much the same in different circumstances. The groups are not always Pakistani men. I know in my questioning of him, he wanted me to say Pakistani men because he would then scream racist at me. I didn't, because I don't believe that they are, and they certainly aren't. The evidence I have is various different people. But he just wanted to score political points, and this is just too serious for that. He could have come out with something that was far more sympathetic to any of the rape victims that heard it. And they could have said they'd look into it. The first time the police have actually admitted to it was on Thursday last week when the Commissioner came to see us. And he came to see us about closing front counters, nothing to do with the rape gangs. And suddenly the leader of Labour's group asked him about these rape gangs, which I thought was odd at the time, because Labour haven't asked any questions on this. And it was clearly he'd obviously been asked to, so that the Commissioner could then say there is some evidence of it. So I assume that they'd already gotten wind of the Express story. I know they would have had a right to reply. So perhaps that's why it came out. That's not good enough, Martin. This is too serious.
Susan Hall, do you think this is indicative of a broader situation? I had Maggie Oliver on the show earlier on, and she said what's happening in London appears to just chime with what she's seen nationwide, particularly in places like Rotherham, and that is a kind of institutional burying of the head in the sand because the truth is too grotesque and the truth might be too damaging politically in terms of the police, in terms of politicians, and in terms of a broader, not necessarily a cover-up, but certainly a kind of, they'd rather look the other way than face the grim truth in the eye.
Yes, what a wonderful woman Maggie Oliver is. You know, we should all recognise that. And Martin Peters for, Charlie Peters for doing so much to bring it out. I don't know whether you'd call it a cover-up. I'm sure technically we shouldn't say that. But in effect, nobody wants to talk about it. In the meantime, these kids, generally girls, not always, generally from care homes or from certainly very difficult backgrounds, but not always. Some of the ones I've seen aren't. They need to be looked after, and for everybody to shove it under the carpet is absolutely not good enough. And this is way above politics. He should have answered my questions properly, because he knows full well that is my job, to scrutinise him, and he won't answer questions properly.
OK, well, thanks for joining us. Thank you for waiting patiently while Donald Trump was speaking away for over half an hour there. That's the leader of the Conservatives in the London Assembly, Susan Hall. Thank you very much indeed for joining us today.